Process states in Linux. Process states in Linux. Running. The process is currently being executed by the CPU or waiting to be executed. Sleeping. The process is waiting for some event to occur or for some conditions to be met. In sleeping, there are two types. Interruptible sleep. The process can be woken up by signals. Uninterruptible sleep. The process cannot be woken up by signals. It's waiting for IO operations to complete. Stopped. The process has been stopped, typically because it was sent a signal like sig stop or because of a job control command initial. Zombie. The process has completed execution. It still has an entity. Stop. The process has been stopped, typically because it was sent a signal like sip stop or because of a job command control command initial. Zombie. The process has completed execution but still has an entry in the process table. This occurs when the parent process has not yet read the exit status of the terminated process. Dead. This state is not often seen directly but indicates that process has been terminated and cleaned up with no entity in the process table. Transition in process states in Linux. Running to sleeping. Sleeping can be into interruptible sleeping and uninterruptible sleeping. If interruptible is completed, then the process is stopped and then running. If uninterruptible moves to the zombie stage, then dead. Running to sleeping. The process is executing but needs to wait for an event or condition. Sleeping to running. The event or condition occurs and the process resumes execution. Running to stopped. The process receives a stop signal. Example signal stop. Stop to running. The process is resumed after being stopped using signal count. Running to zombie. The process completes the execution but remains in the process table until its status is read. Zombie to dead. The process is removed from the process table after its exit status is run by the parent's process. Conditions that trigger this transition. Running to sleeping. The process needs to wait for an event or resources. A process performs a read operations from a disk and wait until the data is available. Sleeping to running. The event or resources that process was waiting for becomes available. Example, the data from the disk space. Operation becomes available or signal is received that interrupts the wait. Running to stopped. The process receives a stop signal. Example, signal stop, signal stop. A user sends a stop signal from the terminal using job control commands like Control Z. Stop to running. The process receives a continuous signal which resumes its execution. A user resumes student job, a stop job from the terminal using FG or BG commands. Running to zombie. The process has completed execution, but it's still in the process table, but its parents has not. Example, a child process finishes its task and terminates, but the parent process hasn't quite wait to collect its exit status. Zombie to dead. The parent process reads the exit status of the terminated child process using wait or similar functions, leading to cleanup. The parent process calls wait or wait period to retrieve the exit status of the child and the operating system stripping the process entry from the process table. Role of RAM or primary memory, secondary storage or the disk storage in transitions. Primary memory, immediate execution and processing. New, when a process is created, its code and initial data are loaded from secondary memory into RAM. This allows the process to be scheduled for execution. Ready, process in the ready state are fully loaded into RAM and are waiting for CPU time. RAM holds up the process state, including its code, data, and stat, enabling immediate execution when the CPU is available. Running. In this state, the process actively uses the CPU. The CPU fetches instructions and the data from the RAM, performs computations, and stores results back in the RAM. The process execution, such as registers and program counter, is maintained in RAM. All of disk storage, waiting or sleeping. While the process is waiting for an event, its current context is still maintained in the RAM. Stopped. A stopped process has its own content saved in the RAM, allowing it to resume later. Zombie. After termination, the process PCB remains in RAM until the exit status is read by the parent process. The data and the core segments of the process are no longer in the RAM, but its final status is maintained in the RAM for cleanup. Role of secondary storage: swapping, paging, and file access. New. The process executor and the relator are initially stored in the secondary memory. Then it is moved from disk to RAM. Ready. If the system is low on RAM, portions of processes might be swapped out to secondary memory. This involves moving portions of processes memory like code or data to disk to free up RAMs for other processes. Running. While running a process typically resides in the RAM. However, if the system is under memory pressure, parts of the running process might be paged out to disk. This ensures that sufficient RAM is available for other processes and system operations. Waiting or sleeping. For processes that are waiting and the system is low on RAM and the processor or parts might be swapped out to the secondary memory. Stopped. A stopped process memory might be swapped out of disk if RAM is needed for the other task. Zombie. After a process terminates, its resources are cleaned up. The process executable code and the data are no longer in RAM, but were initially loaded from secondary memory to the PCB. Thank you.